Hi, I'm Vincent with Coney Real Estate, and I'm here with...
I am Teresa Gagnon, the founder of Yoga Source here in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada.
And we're here to talk about yoga, not do any yoga.
No, we're going to chillax.
I didn't come appropriately dressed.
No, you did not. But that's okay, because yoga isn't about physically moving, it's about connecting to the self and freeing yourself from all of the anxieties and stress, because I'm sure you have a lot of anxieties and stress when it comes to real estate.
Yeah, real estate and new father, a lot of lack of sleep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, lack of sleep. I have a little 10-month-old. He's a beautiful little boy.
Wow, congratulations.
But a lot of stress, a lot of work. Thank you so much. I could use more yoga in my life.
And what would that mean for you, though? Because here at Yoga Source, we offer all disciplinaries of yoga, from, the asana practice, which is not very comfortable to be in jeans doing that, but there's a meditation component as well to it, as well as restorative. So maybe as a tired father, you would
restorative, yes. It sounds like I need restoring.
It's easy breezy, 1, 2, 3, relax back, and you get back in tune with the homeostasis of your vessel, because stress creates this sympathetic system, and we're all anxious, and you get tight neck, and you can't think and can't sleep, and you get disease, we call it. You're at dis-ease. So the yoga practice helps us to quell all that by breathing healthfully in and out. And then our body starts to align in this balance called homeostasis. We've heard that, remember, back in elementary school?
Yes, that's right.
Like, what is this homeostasis? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correct. So it balances us out so that we can reconnect and refuel and have a clearer mind in moving into the direction of our karma, we call it. What is karma? Everybody's like, cause and effect. It's like what goes around comes around. It's very true. It's very true. So here at Yoga Source, we offer that space for people to forgive themselves, to let go, and to renew themselves so that they can move forward and make clearer choices that are what goes around comes around is awesome. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's it like participating in that process with other people?
For me, I've watched this journey now going into our 14th year. I've watched a lot of people timid, right, to come in. And now we've offered the live streaming for those that aren't able to make it in and are feeling quite timid, that they can practice at the click of a button in their home, this actual class. But working with the people in studio, I watched them come in like really nervous, and then over the periods of time, they have this sense of joy, and they don't really leave as soon as class is over. They sit and have tea, they pet the cats, and they just end up socializing, and then they become a collective community of new friends, and it is a community here. So I find that everyone starts to love a lot more and open themselves up for that love for themselves.
Do you think that sense of community is intrinsic in yoga, or do you think it's more of something that you try and create with this space?
It is. I think that having this space, the universe, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but stick with me on this. I landed here from LA, and I never thought Newmarket, Ontario, Canada would be
big change from LA to Newmarket.
Wow. So the reason why I adjusted to this place, because I did fall in love, and I could have left here and taken him somewhere else, but we decided to be here because I felt there was this need, a hole in the market for love and compassion and yoga. So I looked around, and I seriously looked everywhere, from like Keswick to Bradford, all the 404 to the QEW, and this was the place that called me, Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. And the community and the people and the willingness to authentically grow in their own way and to find their space and become a lot calmer and more productive, in a sense of like, this world is awesome. How may I be of service? Like, everyone's happier.
Yeah.
So I think the product that is coming out of this space has been a lineage of forever, eternity, the universal sound of Om. And I just happen to create a space where we can create, or to dump all of our fears and to say, why am I here again on this planet? Oh, to co-create and to be the best that I can be and really have fun. So I find people really are enjoying that releasing and realizing that they can always come back to themselves.
It's an incredible process, and it sounds like you're clearly passionate about it. It radiates out of you. But it's so powerful to create that, but then to participate in it as well, and as you said, for 14 years, to be able to see that effect on the community at large, but individually as well with the people that come. When did you first fall in love with yoga?
I was about 9 years old, and I really, truly, I mean, I just looked at yoga pictures. I didn't participate. I didn't know what it was all about. I had a life crisis, you know, this whole, you know, judgment and discrimination against, you know, all these discriminations. We can name them all day long, but I felt like I was caught between these two worlds, and I asked the universe, help me, and then I started to realize, like, there's these really neat people doing these amazing things, and so I started to research. By the time I was 13, I was physically in the yoga practice, and by the time I was 18, I was dabbling in and out, and by the time I was in my 20s, I was serious about it. And it wasn't until I moved to Newmarket that I actually owned my own studio and then became a hub leader presenting the yoga to the masses. And it was quite a risk because, of course, I had my fears. You know, I'm not worthy enough. Why am I doing it? There's greater yogis out there. Look at the Dalai Lama. But there is no competition in yoga. Yoga is about just really living your passion and how may I be of service, and that's how I may be of service. Whatever you're passionate about, go and do it, because that's what you're meant to do, be of service.
Absolutely, it's hard to argue with.
Right? So just do what makes you happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so clearly yoga makes you happy. Along the process, like, are there certifications, are there special kinds of trainings? Like, so tell me a bit about like your journey, like technically with yoga.
Lots of programs, lots of stimulation out there. You could get lost in the spiritual realm of chaos. And when you hone it in, again, it's going back to listening. I did a multitude of different schools of yoga, because there are many gurus, instructors that create their different schools out of India and out of other places. And what happens is that you kind of either click with that group or you don't click. And then you take it, because when you boil it all down, it comes back to, it's Hatha Yoga. It's yoking, it's connecting to source and yourself, which is the source connection in this experimental world of our existence. So I loved that I did so many different schools of yoga, and I combine them all together, and I teach the goulash of it. But when I boil it all down, it's about breath, it's about mind's intention, opening your heart, loving yourself, and going deep, and then really living every day passionately about, what am I doing again? What is my service? Oh, my service is yoga. I love this stuff. And it doesn't mean I don't falter, and I have 2 little children, and sometimes I'm like this, oh my gosh, where's my yoga now?
Remember to breathe.
And they do it with me. So it's there, even though it seems so, like, we could be put on pedestals. Oh, she's a yogi. But honestly, we're all human beings doing our best to make this world an amazing place, and with our expression. So I'm learning every day my yoga.
It's good. Never stop learning.
And we also offer a certification here. So I actually teach teachers how to navigate themselves if they would like to become a yoga instructor, and or just a more of an open and grounded human being. So the certification that we offer, the diploma that we offer, is of like a spiritual connection, and then of course all of the philosophies, the history, really respecting our ancients. How far back does this yoga go? It goes way back, like to the beginning of time.
Right. Tell me a little bit about the space. I know that there's some, it's not just this, obviously, there's a little bit more to it. Tell me a bit about the space. What other kind of restorative practices are here available to the...
Well, we've really listened to the community, and moving to Newmarket where there was very nil yoga, very limited yoga, and I wanted to open it up to, of course, people with mental health issues, just people that couldn't afford, you know, the practice of wellness. And so that opened this space up, and when I found it, I'm like, oh my God, I can afford it, and I'm going to make it so accessible to everybody. And of course, in 13 years, I've learned a lot about business. Oh my goodness, did I learn a lot. And it hasn't stopped me. That's how passionate I am. So today, we do offer the live streaming for those who aren't able to afford a studio pass, because they can be quite, you know, expensive. We do have a very inexpensive pass. It's only $69 unlimited a month. That's like, whoo.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, but online it's only $9.97 a month unlimited for all the yoga we practice. But it's also not, it's not just the accessibility. It's practicing when you are ready. So we have that available for everyone. So it's at any time at the click of a button and in studio. But we also offer 7 therapy rooms on the other side of anywhere from registered massage therapists. Everyone's licensed and registered, nutrition, Reiki, homeopathy, all of that, because I believe that even though I'm in class doing this and breathing healthfully, I might have like a moment where I'm like having an anxiety attack, and why? And maybe it's my nutrition, maybe I need to relax, maybe I need to have a massage, and because our therapists here really reciprocate loving kindness. Your legs are getting numb, aren't they?
A little bit.
It's okay, stretch it out.
I haven't been doing much
Trust
yoga. I
me.
haven't been doing much yoga lately.
It's okay, it's okay. Be honest.
I was trying to like finish answering
It's
that
like,
question,
oh.
and I'm like, I need to move.
No,
my
you can shake out your legs, that's okay.
It's okay.
So the yoga practice is available to everybody, and that's why Yoga Source and Therapy Studio is that expansive, say the umbrella, right? And underneath it, it's all these possibilities, like the Canadian Mental Health Program, it's every Wednesday, there's so much, because we need that. There's so many different modalities. Say you might like the color blue and someone might like the color red and say blue should be against the law. So in our yoga practice, we offer all colors, you know what I mean? Just to kind of put it out there that it's not just one style, one way. There's a multitude of possibilities for people to grow.
Yeah, I think it's amazing when in any kind of business, but especially in yoga or anything restorative, you put the customer first, put the client first, and you build the business around what they want. And as you said, it's whatever color they choose, you try and get that available for them.
Actually, we learn not to try. We actually do the work, and then we kind of reel it back in and see if that was a good pull, a good observation, and maybe it wasn't the right timing, and then we put it in the side if it's not, and we bring it back later on. Like,
sure.
10 years ago, we offered post-traumatic stress disorder programs for first responders. Wow. I had a first responders class here. No one showed up. Because back then, people were like, I don't want to talk about my stuff.
Right.
So now it's all out in the open, and everyone's talking about, their mental health issues. It's all out there. So now we offer our mental health program. And we don't call it post-traumatic stress disorder. We call it the mental health, yoga for mental health. It's just timing. When people are, and you asked that one question, it's like how I've watched the people, like the students, this is how I've watched them grow, their needs. So sometimes you just have to slow things down and let them realize that they need it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, they need it now. We're going to bring it back. So because yoga, boil it down, it is so deep and so spiritual and so like breaking open yourself and allowing yourself to be free. Not everyone's at that stage.
That's
so we
right.
got to go little itsy bitsy little steps to get
Sure.
them into the practice. So that's why restorative or begin, and even the gentle yoga practice and any of our breath practices.
Right. As a way to welcome them into it.
Yeah, and our meditation with nice big comfortable stools without jeans.
Without jeans. Do not wear jeans.
Yeah, because it cuts off your circulation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. You shake out your legs.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Really mature until 36. I find for majority of people, they're still quite lost.
I'd agree. No, I think so,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
30s for
That's
sure.
why we're here.
Yeah, to be found, find yourself, or to get lost.
Well, yeah, for people to really become aware of what is it that they're wanting to do.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, think about it.
I think a lot of people struggle with it,
Yeah.
which is okay.
Yeah, no, it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are Leos born?
July, August.
July, August. Okay.
Sometimes they come off as righteous and selfish and narcissistic because they're like me, but if they tame and quell it, they're very maternal, family, and willing to support community. And that's what I do. I've spent my whole life doing this for mental illness and stuff like that.
Wow.
Because we have Canadian mental health here. Yeah, we do a lot here.
I didn't even, so, and what's amazing, I mean, I haven't been in Newmarket very long, but I didn't even know this place existed.
Yeah, it's a basement location. It's affordable for a small
The
business.
space is amazing.
It's 3,263 square feet, and something that a yoga studio can afford when it's a
Right.
basement.
Yes.
And you gotta pay TMI and
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I made it affordable. Yes, it's in the basement, but
Who
yeah.
cares? No, you don't
You
feel
walk
like
down
you
the
don't-
stairs like,
You don't feel like you're in a basement when you're here.
right? It's pretty cool.
You don't feel like you're in a basement. You feel like you're in a very well thought out yoga studio.
Yeah, this is a little Miami and LA because I lived there too. I lived in Miami and LA, which we'll talk about.
We will talk about. And he noticed a whole bunch of Tibetan and Indian
Yeah,
influences.
right from Tibet. They are actually picked from Tibet.
And have you been there?
No, not Tibet, but I've been to India.
Okay, because he's like, oh, before you came in, he's like, I bet she's been to India.
Yes, I have, and I'm going back.
He knew right away. He called you. Yoga retreat?
I did, but I hosted it, and I wouldn't do it again. I would just totally go and be a yoga teacher there, and then take my personal space and time, and not be responsible.
But he went through a really terrible divorce, kind of threw his whole life for a loop. He found yoga. He does yoga 7 days a week, and it's totally like he's totally reborn.
Okay,
because
what
of
do you
yoga.
see in that?
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing. Yeah. It's
So
pretty
a lot
wild.
of people say, "Oh, I hear yoga's really awesome." I'm like, it only takes 2 seconds.
Yeah. No,
For
he's
you to
super.
literally just stop, right, and be quiet.
Yeah.
Because that's yoga is connection. It means yoking, connect to source. You and source, we are one, right? So it's really, I know it's like kumbaya to the majority of people out
Yeah,
there.
but there's something there
But
too.
when they
like it's-
stop, and during tragedies is when they stop and they go, "Oh my God, I need something better in my life."
Yeah, I
and
need to
that's when they
rethink.
fuck
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I need to rethink my life. So it's amazing. But so he's decided. He sold his store, and now he does that full time. He puts on yoga retreats.
Awesome.
So
I felt better because I've always been close to source. Like,
yeah.
you know, death is not the end of us. It's just a recycle of possibilities.
Sure.
Even though
It doesn't mean it's easy to deal
grief
with,
and
right?
bereavement
Yeah,
is there,
very real, sure.
and there's times when you're pissed off and
Yeah, of
angry.
course.
Why'd you fucking leave me with all this shit? And then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So it's been 14 years,
Wow.
15 years now, 15 years. So for me, it's part of it.
Yeah.
In yoga, and this is good for any kind of life. There's 4 things in life. Mathematics of life. It's really simple. What is it that you want to do? What's your purpose? What makes you happy, right? It's called dharma.
Sleep. Okay, one. Keep
Not
going.
sleep.
I'm gonna
That-
see it.
we'll get to sleep.
I'm gonna answer all these 4.
We got-
Okay,
so,
go on.
So your passion, whatever you do that inspires you to be of service,
People,
okay,
okay.
that's dharma.
People.
That's your dharma. So a lot of people, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and that's okay, you'll figure it. So dharma. And then across from that is what supports your dharma.
Okay.
So I need a yoga studio, I need a vehicle to
Right.
go from
Yep.
here to there. I need students. So
Yep.
their needs, the
Yep.
needs. So what supports you, which is artha.
Okay.
And then when you have your dharma and your artha, then you receive this amazing pleasure from the dance of these two. So it's called, Kama Sutra, Kama. So Kama is the pleasure you get from the dance of all your needs that you need to do this are all met. And then the 4th thing is you have liberation, moksha, which isn't the yoga studio, they just stole it for the name. Moksha means liberation. So in those 4 things, you're like, right, I don't have freedom, and I'm not getting much pleasure. Maybe I'm getting too much pleasure, but there's not a lot of freedom in that pleasure because I am going home and I'm not paying the bills and da-da-da. So maybe my needs, maybe I need to, oh, shit, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything with my life.
No
Oh my
dharma.
God, I'm not focused. So you gotta, what is my dharma? You receive the support, you have pleasure, and you have liberation. So I've met so many people in my life where they have so much freedom, so much liberation.
No dharma.
They have no fucking clue of what they're supposed to
No
be
dharma.
doing.
No purpose.
They're-
No meaning.
They're depressed.
Yeah.
And they're
shallow.
aimlessly floating around. Not all of them. There's some of them are just lost.
Yeah.
You know, you ever meet someone's like, I don't know. Because the pendulum swings in life. You're either agitated or you're complacent, right? And it's in between you want to be, which is, we call it santosha. So when you're content, santosha, midline. And that's what yoga helps us to do, no matter what style of
Center
yoga.
yourself.
I'm a little bit grumpy when I went into yoga, and then all of a sudden the pendulum swung a little bit this way. Oh, this is nice. I like this. And then you might get a little agitated, or you might get a little complacent. I don't feel like doing this. I just want to sit here and sleep. No, you need to choose to find that balance in the between. So complacency, agitation, sattvic, midline, aha. Like the Goldilocks. Right zone. Our planet is in the Goldilocks zone. Imagine any other planets, they're not in the Goldilocks
No,
zone.
that's right.
Where just enough oxygen,
Yeah, that's right.
just enough
that's right.
sunlight,
That's
just
right.
enough.
I've never heard it called that, the Goldilocks
Well,
zone.
this is what we North Americans make it, and in NASA they use the Goldilocks zone in that. In NASA they talk about. I love NASA. I love talking about this because it's all yoga.
Yeah.
So in yoga as well, the whole conversation about, well, why are you here again? And everyone's like Om Namah, praying to the universe or to the God as they know it. There's no religion here. What are they praying for? And the question is, well, ask yourself, because you're the one that has to do the work for the answers to come out. Because
Right.
everything you need is right inside of you, right?
Right.
Like literally, you are packaged perfectly. like those new lunch boxes, they're saying everything you need is in this packable lunch. Honestly, we have everything. It's just learning to, what is my service? What's my dharma? Is it being supported? Do I have my business cards? Do I have my camera? Do I have all the things I need? Do I have the relationships that support it? And then you get pleasure from that. It's like, wow, this is awesome. And then there's liberation.
Yeah.
So 4 things, eh? Amazing.
It's pretty simple if you put it like, if you
Yeah.
reduce it to that, it makes sense, right?
And I know a lot of friends that do have a lot of freedom and they're, like I said, they're lost. And so that's when they come back into themselves and say, well, what can I do to be of service? And then they're, I don't know what to do. Make some cupcakes.
Yeah, start do something.
Make
Yeah,
cupcakes.
do something.
Go paint somebody's wall, you know?
Yeah.
So figuring out what makes you happy is the whole yoga process.
That's right.
Just like when people come in to practice our yoga, they're like, oh, I like her class. I don't like that class. I need meditation. Oh, I could do the restorative. Oh, I really enjoy Julie's class. And Teresa's a little bit more intense. I'll do her class on Friday when I'm full of energy.
Of course.
So I find that a lot of our students mix up I see the students in every single class. Like they will mix it up. And that's what we promote here is that don't fall in love with me and don't fall in love with just one style.
No, that's right.
And I promote all types of yoga. I say, get out there when you're on vacation and check out another yoga studio.
Yeah, see what they're doing, see what resonates with you.
And then figure it out. Because honestly, I don't own anyone. I'm not going to make anyone stay here at Yoga Source because it's not going to be viable and sustainable if that's not the fit.
Right. Makes sense.
But we're a pretty good fit for a lot of people because we're constantly listening. We do Facebook polls.
What resonates, right?
Who wants yoga for round people? Because there's a lot of round people. And I don't know how to stick this and that in there. So we have a new teacher joining us who is teaching yoga for everyone. It's a gentle practice. She happens to be round. And we're going to slip in the yoga for round people in there. And people are going to start to, I could do that too. There's just different ways of setting it up.
Yeah, exactly.
So possibilities are endless. We listen.
That's what I was going to say. It comes back to putting the person on that side of the room first, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful.
If we could tap into part of our potential that is unknown to us and for a moment, this is where meditation is important because meditation, it's not our brain that is our big, part of us. Our brain is just like, say, how do you connect this Wi-Fi to that? There's like some sort of tool that absorbs it, a conduit. Yeah. So the brain is just a conduit for information and you process left and right, masculine, feminine. Your pineal gland, I always say pineal gland, this little radar, boop, 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 right there is open to the universe and it receives all of the information into your vessel. That's it. Boom, isn't that cool? And when your baby's born, right, it's all open there.
Yes.
Why? Because the soul, and I'm just putting it out there, in ancient times, the discussion is that when the body is fully ready, like if you buy a house, do you move in when it's just like...
Nope, paint.
So it's got to be painted, carpet, and all electricity, and a stove is running, fridge is on.
Yeah.
So a soul does not enter into a vessel until it's fully ready. So this part of the skull stays open because the entering of the the soul that is chosen enters in. This is just throwing it out there. You guys can compost this through that area.
It's going to be the main part.
And when it closes, guess what? Your soul is now attached to your human vessel. And boom, you're alive, right? So when you wake up, it's like boom, when all the lights are on. So a lot of people, and this is like a little side thing, oh no, your soul's like there right from the fetus. It is not there yet. The house is not built. It has to be built.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's not until the birthing. Lots of stuff. So that's in ancients. Even NASA is talking about that now. Because NASA is now talking about the energies, right? And how the energy transforms and changes. How do you think they get the spaceship to that? They use all this energy. They've learned quantum theory physics. And all that information is in the ancient text from way back. And they say, yoga's 5,000, 3,000 years old. It's not. It's beyond our time. What's maybe recent is cross-leg.
Right.
And all this, acrobatic stuff we're doing, that was really from the 60s.
Yeah,
when the Swamis came over and
Sure,
saying, hey, you guys are you white people want to do this yoga stuff?
Yeah, let's
So
do
you
this
don't want to
cool
sit and
stuff.
chant? Okay,
Yeah.
let's get you to move your body because
Sure,
you guys
sure.
like exercise.
Sure.
You like
You want to
exercise.
feel like you're doing something.
So we're gonna create, but yes, in ancient texts there are the names of postures like turtle and pheasant and all that stuff based on the gods.
Right.
But they didn't practice yoga like we practice yoga
Right,
because
no.
they were already in tune with themselves.
Right.
We aren't.
No, yeah, we need to bring it back. Right?
So the reason why I'm here at Yoga Source in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada is because the universe asked me to come here because there's a hole in the market and people want to wake up. So we're at a place in time where people want to wake up, but they want that guidance. And this is a safe place where I don't go that deep like I just mentioned to you about that stuff. I will go there in teachers training,
Sure.
in our programs, but in our class, it's all about coming back to the breath, about letting go of all of your stresses and your fears and forgiving yourself. Let go of all the personalities that you wear, all the hats that you wear outside of the door, and just sit on your mat and take some time to breathe and surrender. And then you feel amazing. And then physically, you move your body, and that feels good too,
Yeah.
because remember, science proves that when you contract eccentrically, concentrically, this is science, that your nervous system and the homeostasis of the body, the parasympathetic, sympathetic system go ha-ha, because now the breath is moving through, and that breath moves into your digestive system, oxygenates, the heart oxygenates the body, and you're brand new.
Yeah.
So imagine if you just sat like a shlumpasana. It's a slow
Like a what?
process. A shlumpasana. We call this shlumpasana because everything in
I feel
yoga.
like that's how I sit most of the
Shlumpasana.
time.
Like I'm just going to be complacent and not move, and I'll do it
Oh, that's
tomorrow.
totally me.
So this is really unhealthy because depression is easier, dis-ease, right? All these things start to happen to you. Like, why am I not feeling good? Because you need to move your body physically. You need to.
Absolutely.
That's why the sun salutation is such a great practice. And even in the ancient times, it was a sun salutation of prayer and motion, just moving your body. We made it something a little bit more acrobatic today.
Right.
But you don't need to be wearing Lululemon or be
No, of
extremely
course.
fit
Wait,
to
you
do
don't
yoga.
need to be where you
No.
don't. You
No.
don't. Are you sure?
No, yes.
We have this recorded.
Yes, but we love Lululemon. We do, because some companies do such great things for the world as well.
Sure, of course.
And-
Thank you, Teresa, so much for your time today. I learned so much. I can't wait to start stretching it out.
Oming.
Oming, of course. So if I'm new to Newmarket or to yoga in Newmarket, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way, and I find that a lot of information is out there. There's a phone number, there's an email address. The best way is to go to yogasource.ca and Shazam, everything is on the website. But if you want me to tell you the phone number right now, it's 905-830-9700. If you have any questions, do not hesitate, because there's a lot about this yoga stuff that is scary for some of you, so don't be afraid to ask us this information. Again, yogasource.ca. All the information is there, and or call us at 905-830-9700. I'll see you on the mat.